What's up, everybody? It's Knives Monroe. Got 2 jobs coming out. Actually, it's about a total of 12. We got to get them packaged and ready to go. We're over here at Flipside Canvas Shop. It's Monday morning. And it's a good day to be alive. Getting these orders out, and I look forward to that. It's gonna be badass. Little by little you wear me down. I'm fucking old. Bon voyage. Made in America by Americans.
Oh no, they're coming here soon.
They're bringing water?
It's just they're behind schedule. They're coming, they're coming from San Antonio.
Okay, I just want to make sure.
You started recording?
BEJAN, I just want to say we haven't really met, officially, but
yes.
I need to ask you selfishly, why'd you hit me up? Because we've never met before.
So with 48, there's like a 50% fallout rate. It's a 50% fallout.
Yeah.
And with anything passion projects with no one getting paid, I try to network. I always want to work with new people. I mean, for me, networking and meeting new people that you haven't met before, that's just fun. It's like, that's what I love about film. I mean, you meet people you've never met before, different genres, different walks of life. I mean, and I love messaging random people and just working with them. So with no budget, we're pretty good.
Have you participated in a 48 before?
I've done 5 others.
Have you ever won?
I have not. I think we're going to win this one.
Do you have a chip on your shoulder about
that? Yeah, we don't win. I don't know what they're picking by. And I mean, who's blowing up a car? Who has 20, 30 extras? Who has an 18-wheeler? Who has an ambulance? Who has this kind of wardrobe we gotta win best wardrobe. We better win like best cinematography. We were shooting on 4 reds, and I have a pretty good cinematography reel. If you don't think I'm good at cinematography, I don't think you know about anything about cinematography. We have 8 HMIs. We got 2 1-ton G&E package. I don't think there's any other.
Do you act, bro? Because you're so charismatic.
I was a theater major, but I'm a horrible actor actually. But I can overact, and if you want me to do comedy, I can do that. But if it's like serious acting, I don't train, so I think I could be a good actor if I trained, but I have no desire to train. I don't want to be, I feel like there's a lot of people who want to be actors and they don't train, and like, oh yeah, I'm an actor, but you train. You constantly try to improve yourself as an actor. Unless you are doing that, you're not an actor. I mean, you've got to be constantly putting yourself out there as an actor. And I don't buy the bullshit, like, I don't do free work. I'm like, well, what the fuck are you doing at home? I'm like, you got to be out there working your ass off to get better. Because being on set and training, I'm not saying don't pick and choose the people you work with. I'm like, you want to pick the people who have good production quality. I'm like, you should be working on my kind of sets, people with higher level production quality, when they're shooting on reds and aries and, you know, or in raw, and they know what they're doing when it comes to lighting and color grading. Yes, you don't want to work in some crappy student film, unless you're just starting out and you just want to get your feet wet. But once you get to that point where you feel like you build a good portfolio, you know, I can see why you pick and choose, but you still should always do free work. I still do free work, and I own probably like $60,000, $70,000 worth of gear. I mean, and I still sometimes do free work just for fun. I mean, it's good networking sometimes. It's my own passion projects. I mean, you got to be doing something. And as a director, I constantly direct. And you can't call yourself a director unless you're constantly directing. If you're just, oh, I directed 1 short film last year, it was great, but you're not really a director, you're a hobbyist. I mean, you want to be a filmmaker, you want to be a full-time filmmaker.
So, 2 things I want to say to you. First of all, I love your fire. Number 1, you got 20 people that came out here for you.
There's going to be more.
Because of the credibility that you've made with people and relationships and people that know of you, man. So how does that make you feel knowing that you're the captain of this ship and you're responsible for everybody?
Well, I'm excited, and I'm glad that everyone came out here. I mean, you know, I know what it takes to make a good film, and I think everyone realizes that, you know, I think I can deliver good production quality, and I think I can deliver a fun time. This is going to be fun. You could see a car explode. How many people? I would just want to go see that. I mean, if I'd never seen one before, I'm offering an experience that you can't find somewhere else, and I think that's one of the alluring, you know, aspects. Not only that I'm a good filmmaker, I'm trying to inspire people to do better and go further.
So I guess my last question for you for now is, you know, I've been in this game as well for a long time, and you always get the question about going to LA. When do you see yourself doing that, or
so,
do you see it?
I lived in LA for 6 months. I lived in New York for a month. It's hard to produce and direct your own stuff out there. You have union BS, you can't get crew. It's hard to shoot anywhere without a permit. I managed to shoot a few people, but if you want to build an actual crew and shoot something, union crew doesn't want to do passion projects. You got to work at some other studio and be a PA for 10 years. Do I want to do that? No, I want to direct my own projects. I want to be in Austin, Texas, or somewhere I can film my own stuff and direct my own stuff. Not that I don't want investors from LA, not that I don't want LA money to fund my projects, but I got to make it on my own as a director before I waste my time in LA as a PA for 10 years. And I don't think it's worth it. I mean, if you want to be a director, you got to be in a town in which there's creative people and the people that are passionate about what they do.
Well, I appreciate that, man. You know, the only thing that sucks is like when I meet, I'm kind of like, we talked about this the other day, where we're the guys at the party that are kind of more quiet, more introverted than maybe we should be as YouTubers. But I can only really talk about one thing fluently, and that's artistry and filmmaking and craft and videography and design. And I can kind of only talk about those things. Once I'm hanging out with like people in the military and they're talking about guns and they're talking about the branches and they're talking about their units and they're talking about all these things, like I realize I'm completely out of my element. And so I kind of just stay in my lane. It's a very narrow lane, and I don't think it translates to everybody, but I think about, and I think this comes with age, like if I was 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, I'd be trying to find my voice, which I already have. I'd be trying to find my niche audience, which I do already have. I'd be trying to find my rhythm, which I have. I just can't delude myself into thinking it's something outside my comfort zone. Like I think the internet has proven like your comfort zone is valid. Your comfort zone, it could be lucrative if you just apply yourself daily. You know what I mean? So I just keep telling myself that, and I revisit old content, narcissistic though it is, just to say, oh yeah, like I'm reminding myself that there's freedom in that. And man, like I choke myself up with some of my old stuff. Just seeing my kids for where they were during that time. They seem so young, but it was only a year ago, and myself included, man, you know? So I gotta just keep making stuff for the future, and it connects with people, because then Dave Knopp Googles my name, finds my video, and then flips it and makes me laugh in the future for something that was pretty arbitrary, and I recorded at Apple for a Facebook Live, and then I just flipped it or whatever. So it's all worth it just for that, you know? Hi there.
How are you?
Lovely to meet you.
Diane.
Thank you so much, Diane.
Welcome.
Thank you. I'm very lucky. I make creative decisions for a living at this point. Everything started off as a fantasy. It used to be a dream, and now I dream for a living. And it's still new to me. I'm still very grateful for it. Like Chicken Little, I feel like the sky can fall at any moment, but here I am. I'm in Carlsbad, California, and we're about to go to Camp Pendleton tomorrow. Going to military bases are amazing life experiences. And to be honest, I regret not filming my side of the journey when we went to Camp Lejeune last October. Now, I filmed Dakota Meyer's side of the journey, and it's well documented. But I've decided to do what my heart wants to do and make my pipe dreams again every day. Why the fuck not? Nobody can tell me what to do. Nobody can stop me. Nobody tells me what to make. Nobody tells me what dreams to dream. And I just want to share this because I know years down the line, maybe not even years, maybe even just a few months, I'll need to watch this again to remember. I'll need to watch this again to inspire myself, to motivate myself, to remind myself that this is a privilege and to trust what's in here. Now, if I had a series of dogmatic commandments, it would be the following. It would be know yourself, trust yourself, be yourself. Know yourself. You have to know who you are. There's a difference between being self-conscious and being self-aware. Knowing yourself is knowing what you suck at, it's knowing what you're great at, it's knowing your faults, it's knowing what you're capable of, it's knowing that sometimes you need other people to help you, it's knowing that sometimes you have to do everything by yourself, it's knowing that sometimes all you have is a belief, and it could be as sturdy as a house of cards, or it could be as strong as a tree in in a hurricane. It's really up to your conviction, it's up to your passion, it's up to what you're willing to apply in yourself, right? That's knowing yourself. It's also knowing your limitations and knowing that sometimes you got to hire the right person, you got to meet the right people, you got to surround yourselves with people that are far more capable and competent than you if you want to achieve a certain goal. That's knowing yourself. It's knowing that you can overcome failure. It's knowing that failure is not trying. It's knowing that you need to put more effort and energy into something than anybody else would even ever try. That's knowing yourself. Knowing yourself is knowing that whatever backstory you come from, whatever your lineage is, whatever your history is, whatever your neighborhood was, whatever school you went to, whatever parents you had, it doesn't matter. Because today, here you are, here you stand, and you can invent a new story right here and right now. A new story, a new dream, a new vision, and your life can dictate towards that. And you can create momentum towards that, to climb that mountain. And yeah, there's another mountain right behind it, but the whole point and the whole purpose is to know yourself and know your outcome, know your results, know what you want to get out of it. That's knowing yourself. Trusting yourself. Most people never really get there because, like I said, there's a difference between being self-conscious and self-aware. This is where the self-conscious bit comes in. This is where the insecurity bit comes in. This is where the programming of society and the internet and the middle schools and the parents and the television and the ads come in, and they tell you, to quote Charlie Chaplin in The Great Dictator, what to do, what to think, and what to feel. But you got to trust that voice, that inner voice that tells you who you really are, what you're capable of, and your potential, what you're willing to give, what you're willing to sacrifice. Sometimes that means picking up the phone and saying I love you first. Sometimes that means being the bigger person. Sometimes that means shitting your pants and diving right into a swimming pool, even if you can't swim, because you know that somehow there's something in your code that will bring you back up to the water if you believe, if you trust yourself. And then there's being yourself. Now, there's a there's an adjective there. There's a verb, right? There's a verb. Verb. The verb is being yourself. Now you actually have to apply it in a paste. Now you actually have to put it into an application. Now you have to, you know yourself, you're aware, you trust yourself, you've conquered your insecurity, you have your confidence, you're one with your potential, you're moving forward, and then there's the being yourself, the actually doing it. The waking up at 4 o'clock in the morning, if that's what tickles your pickle, and going out there and getting after it. The going to bed at 8 p.m. after you get the kids to sleep and you've given them all showers and you've cleaned their ears and brushed their teeth and you know for a fact that they've done their homework and you've walked the dog and you put dinner away and all that stuff, and then going to sleep because that's discipline. That's actually being who you are. There's a surrender to that. There's a surrender to the muse. There's a surrender to the greater idea. There's a surrender to your dreams, to your visions, to the absolutes, to the idiosyncrasies, to the grays, to the everything in between. But being and doing, that's where the magic happens. That's where the fucking magic happens. And I'll be honest, I've tried going outside my comfort zone, but this right here is where I'm comfortable. This right here is where I belong. This right here is what makes me thrive. This right here, you know, sometimes I don't just want to live. I actually want to just thrive, and I want to explode, and I want to be happy, and I want to be grateful, and I want to say, I'm fucking here. And this is my dream, and no one's going to tell me what to dream. And that's what this is about. And that's why I'm here. And that's why I'm back.